So, what's up, YouTube? I'm Rob.
John,
And this is Delco
Delco does
Does
it.
It. And we have a segment for you today called Wager Smart. We are super excited that the 2020 football season is finally upon us. I don't know about you guys with COVID and everything, but I could not wait to see grown men just beating the crap out of each other. That being said, we're going to try and make some picks to make you guys some money. John here does a lot of research and I shoot from the hip. No, I'm kidding. I do some research too. But we don't always see eye to eye, and that's why we're doing this to put it out there to give you guys a little help on maybe picking, making some money, or going a little further into your own research. So, John, you want to start us off with your first pick?
Yeah, and before I start, let me just let everybody know, tread a little bit lightly with your bet amounts, at least to start the season, because it's going to be different.
Couple 100,000.
Nothing like this has ever happened before. This is going to be a unique season. Um, so you don't know for sure how things are going to go. So take it easy, and also don't just blindly tail anyone's picks. Make sure you like it too. Do a little bit of your own research. Use this as maybe a guideline. Because I've had success in the past doing this. I'm not going to sit here and give you past records or tell you how much I've made or yada yada. I'm going to let my picks that I give out from now going forward speak for themselves, and then you can decide whether I'm any good or
The way it should
not.
be.
Yeah. So but again, at the end of the day, it's your money that you're betting. So make sure that you like the play. All right. So the first pick, we're going up to New England. We're taking the under 42 here because, I mean, both of these offenses, I think, are going to be bottom third of the league, at least to start. The Cam Belichick pairing, there's a lot of intrigue there. I think a lot of people are too high or too low. The truth's going to be somewhere in the middle. But the fact is, we like Cam hasn't been healthy in close to 5 years. Like we know what the guy can do when he's healthy, but is that
Who are we
there
going to
anymore?
get?
Is that there anymore? Is he still have that skill set? Has he declined? Like we don't know because he hasn't been healthy. Um, you got to know. We know who Bill Belichick is. We know what he can do. But I mean, Brady.
If he could coach up a healthy Cam, that's
Yeah.
a scary thought for a lot of AFC teams. That's a big if. And Cam's attitude in the past, when things haven't gone his way early, hasn't been the best. So I don't know how Big Bill's going to like to deal with that.
I mean, not only that, there's just not a lot of weapons there for him to work with. You've got Edelman, and then not much else. You know, uh,
Running
Bra-
back by committee up there,
yeah,
Sony Michelle.
Brady drove that offense to being average last year. And I don't know what Cam's going to be able to do. You haven't seen it. He hasn't had any preseason snaps. Like, what's the chemistry going to be like there? You just don't know. Combine that with the fact that the defense from Miami is going to be much improved.
And Cam, South State, I love to run, and he takes abuse. Is Bill Belichick going to allow his quarterback to do that at this state of his career?
Yeah, I think he's going to try to protect them at least early. Um, you know, it's going to be a run heavy game. I think both teams are going to lean heavily on the run because Miami, offensively they're not incredible.
Well, we've seen Fitzmagic hang some points, and he did it on us, the Eagles.
Uh,
Ugh,
yeah,
don't open that wound.
but the thing here is, I don't think he's going to be able to throw the ball over the field on the Patriots. Like, yeah, they lost a lot on their front seven with, free agency and COVID
Mhm.
opt outs. And
But they still have Gilmore.
yeah, I mean, Gilmore, the McCourties, that secondary is still going to be really, really good. You're not going to chuck the ball all over the field. They're most vulnerable at the front seven. That's what Miami's, if they're smart, that's what they're going to try to attack. And on the other side of the ball, the Miami defense, again, they're going to be much improved. They spent money in free agency. They swiped Van Noy from New England. They went out and got Byron Jones. They went cornerback heavy in the draft. Like they're going to be improved. And I think that the Patriots offense is just going to be such an unknown. And I don't think either team is going to be very explosive. I like a lot of runs. I like the clock to just keep moving. So I love the under 42 here. I don't see them scoring 6 touchdowns. I just
No,
don't.
I like the under as well. I'm okay with that bet. I also like Miami as an outright winner, no point spread, because I've seen Fitzmagic and they just, for some reason, they're New England's kryptonite.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not confident enough. in Miami winning the game to, make it a pick, but I wouldn't be shocked if they win. Um, or even cover, but I'm just not too sure there. I love the under. That's what I'm rolling with.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Who do you got next?
All right. So next, we're going to stay in the AFC East. We're going to go up to Buffalo. Now it's a chalky pick. I get it, but I think it's the right pick. Chalk it doesn't always mean bad. Um, the Bills have a lot of questions around Josh Allen and his ability to lead them offensively. I get that, but that's still a top five defense. Like it's no secret that they carried that team to the playoffs last year, and the Jets are just not. They're not a very talented football team overall. Sam
But there
Darnold,
was a lot of talent on that football team overall.
they do, they have some players,
They
but
have some weapons.
I don't know what Sam Darnold is. I don't know what he's going to bring from week to week. He's shown no consistency at all, and I don't think the Jets even know at this point. Like,
He's a big guy with a big arm and
Yeah.
certainly shown flashes of talent, but we just haven't seen it all come together yet.
Yeah.
Could this be the year? If it is, that could be a scary, scary combination.
I
We
mean,
just don't know.
it's definitely a make or break year for the guy. But again, that Buffalo defense is really good. He's not gonna have a ton of success throwing the ball, and I mean you're gonna see a lot of Le'Veon Bell, but
Heavy dose of Lev.
yeah, but I don't
But
know.
the Bills
And
are going to be prepared for that.
yeah, I think honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills defense scores more points than the Jets offense does. I love the Bills here. I think it's a good number. It's a pick. Bills laying 6.5. I love it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like the Bills here.
How about
It's a good
the
number.
Bills defense score more points against the Jets offense?
Well,
I'm bet.
I
That's a
don't.
bet.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there's a book that offers that, but it
My
would
book
be
offers
interesting.
it right now.
It would be interesting if they did. But it's 6.5. The value is there on the Bills. I'm not sure, who watching if you know anything about key numbers, but 6.5 and 7.5 are both key numbers. If the favorite's got a 6.5, that's value because 25% of all NFL games end with a margin of 3 or 7. So right there, the home team laying 6.5, they win it by a touchdown or more, double digits most likely, in my opinion. So I'm
Hence
all
the
over the
value.
Bills here. I love the Bills.
All right, great. What do you got next?
And then next, we're going with an underdog pick here.
Love it.
The Packers defense, I love it. I think top 10, top 5 potential. They have,
With the loss of Matthews?
yeah. Despite that, I mean, they have 3 like really potent pass rushers.
Mm-hmm.
It's quality secondary. They were good last year, and I think they're going to be just as good, if not better, this year defensively. And I think that's the difference in this game because Minnesota defensively is very vulnerable at the cornerback position. They have 6 available cornerbacks with 6 combined NFL starts in their career. 3 of them are rookies. One of the better safety tandems in the league, maybe the best.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're going to try to mask it and help those guys out a lot, but they could be in a lot of trouble early at cornerback. Aaron Rodgers knows that these guys are inexperienced. So he's going to attack them, and he's going to make them make plays. And if they can't do that, Minnesota's going to struggle to stop Green Bay, regardless of whether, I think both teams have middle of the pack offenses. I don't think either team is going to be in the top 10 offensively. You're going to see them both in between, in the teens somewhere, maybe up to 20, like somewhere in that range overall. Rodgers is still Rodgers. A lot of chatter about him maybe declining a little bit, but he's still a top 10 quarterback. Kirk Cousins, very high-paced system quarterback, but he's got some great weapons. I know he lost Diggs, but Dalvin Cook and Thielen are still incredible. So,
Rudolph.
Yeah, Kyle Rudolph to an extent.
I disagree. Okay. Minnesota's going to run all over the pack, and if they bring 8 in the box, they're just going to air it out. Like you said, the weapons you just mentioned. They also just brought in on defense a big-time, big-name defensive end who I wanted here in Philadelphia in Yannick Ngakoue. Aaron Rodgers is going to be running for his life. The offensive line in Green Bay last year wasn't that strong, and I don't know what they did to shore it up, but unless they added some significant talent there, he's going to be running for his life most of this game, and I see it going in Minnesota's favor outright.
All right. Well, yeah, there's our first head-to-head then, because I think the Packers go up there and they win this game. Like, they not only cover the 2.5, but they win the game. So
Yeah, I don't think there's any home field advantage now with COVID restrictions in the NFL. Some teams can have fans, some can't, but even the fans there, I mean, it's going to be minimal crowd noise or whatever it's going to do. So I feel like the Pack going there, that sense of it doesn't give Minnesota the advantage, but just the youth on that team and the talent they have, I think that Aaron Rodgers is just going to show his age.
all right. Well, we'll see. Remains to be seen. So next we're going staying. We're going to Detroit. The Lions are giving 3 at home to the Bears, and I have no idea what the Bears are thinking offensively. It doesn't. You sign Nick Foles, you start bringing in personnel that makes it look like you're gonna, tailor an offense that's gonna give him the best chance to have success, and then you name Trubisky your starter. Like I can't believe
What are
that.
you doing over there,
I can't believe. I don't believe that Trubisky outplayed Foles in practice to the extent. I just
with no preseason game, no real time snaps.
And it's the same stale offense. It's the same stale quarterback who showed that he is not able to make the throws that you need him to consistently make in order to have success offensively. So, I mean,
Isn't the definition of insanity doing the same thing over again and expecting different results?
it is. It is. And, I understand that Lions defense is below average. They're not going to be very good. I just don't think the Bears quarterback is able to capitalize on that. I don't
And
think
the
he.
Lions' offense is good, and they're going to put up some points there. So Stafford is an elite arm in this league. I mean, he can sling it all over the field. I don't think there's a throw that he cannot make. I do have concerns about the head coach there, Matt Patricia. I don't know what he's bringing to the table. He's talked a lot of game, and I haven't seen much success on that franchise since he's been there. So I think he's on the hot seat this year.
Yeah, I mean, that could be the case, but in the same sense, Stafford could completely bail him out of that because, he looked all world before he went down last year. The guy was incredible. He hadn't played that well I haven't seen him play that well in years. Like,
Yeah.
he was on an MVP pace, and, and he's,
Running and throwing.
and apparently he's totally healthy now. The back is fine. Um, you got to believe he's going to want to come back and pick up where he left off, especially against the team that ended his season.
Revenge game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see how he handles getting hit because he is going to get hit. That Bears defense is still very, very good. It's not going to be easy on him by any means.
Stafford reminds me a lot like Favre, though. If you hit him, he starts playing better, man. You hit him, and he gets pissed off. He's like, okay, I'm coming for you now. It's on. Let's do this.
Yeah, I mean, as long as his body holds up to the hits, I think he's going to be okay. I think, again, the Bears defense still very, very good. They didn't turn it over at the rate that they did, usually last year that you're used to seeing. They just didn't have the takeaways. But
Sure.
despite that, they were still 4th in the league in points allowed. That's pretty good.
Bears bring it on D every
yeah,
year. I
yeah.
just don't think they're going to have the offense or be able to keep up with the points that Detroit is going to put up.
Yeah, I mean, again, I have no confidence in that offense for Chicago. So as long as Trubisky's running the show and Nagy's calling the plays, I don't like it. So I think the Lions get it done by more than a field goal here. I like the Lions -3 at home.
Same. And hopefully we see Big Nick in there pretty soon, man. We
Yeah,
love you, buddy.
yeah. Nick Foles deserves
Cheers
better,
on me
man.
next time you're in Philly.
Yeah, he. I'd love to see him get a crack with that team and see what he can do. All right, so should we go to the pick of the week now?
Let's do it. Pick of the week.
All right, so this is not a homer pick. Don't think this is a homer pick, but I'm taking the Eagles here, laying 5.5.
I'm taking, and it is a homer pick. I love my birds.
Listen, this Washington football team is just. I
The
understand.
Washington football team, they don't even have a name yet, and they're going to think they're going to beat Philadelphia?
Let's hope
Come
they
on.
get it together. Well, no, let's not hope they get it together as far as a football standpoint goes, but they're just not a very talented football team overall. I mean, I understand that they have a good pass rush and Chase Young, like obviously,
Stud.
but outside of that, defensively, these guys they're a collection of talented guys that have underperformed in recent years. Couple that with the fact that he's been incredible against
He is
Washington
a
in his career.
Washington killer.
Like he,
Killer.
14 touchdowns to 3 picks in 5 games, almost 1,500 yards. 5-0, almost 70% completions.
Also, the great escape, one of the most impressive quarterback
Yeah.
escapes of a sack I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I mean, and outside of the pass rush, Washington doesn't have much else. And that organization from top to bottom, it's an absolute mess right now. And you got to believe that's going to have an effect on the on-field product.
Absolutely. Although they did make a good decision in bringing in Coach Ron Rivera. Coach Ron, I know you're struggling through cancer right now, and me and John here hope the best for you and your family. Our heart goes out.
All the best to Coach. I hope he's able to pull through this and come out healthy on the other side.
Absolutely.
But that could also have an effect on this team and their performance.
Distractions.
And I mean, even without all that, just if you look, the Eagles are just a much better football team. So barring some kind of meltdown, there's no reason they shouldn't cover this 5.5 and probably win by double digits.
There's some in-house drama, though. What about Zach Ertz with the contract negotiations? He came out publicly and made a statement that a lot of people think he shouldn't have made. He still has 2 years left on his contract.
Yeah.
So you've also had Lori and Howie not letting Coach Doug bring in his own personnel. So things aren't all sunshine and rainbows in Philadelphia either.
No, I mean it's definitely not perfect right now. But I don't think there's enough friction to derail the season. I think they're going to be okay. I hope that I gotta hope the Zach Ertz situation is going to figure itself out. Like they got to pay the guy. Obviously, I mean it's not a leap to say that he's the greatest Eagles tight end ever, right? I mean, as far as a pass catching tight end goes, they've had no bet.
Yeah.
So I mean, the guy,
one of the most best hands in the league.
Yeah. So you gotta pay the guy. I mean, Wentz, that's Carson's security blanket. You gotta pay this guy. I understand you got Dallas Goedert,
younger.
Yeah, younger. They could be looking at him as like, but
I read the other day if they were to just cut Zach Ertz, not that I am condoning that by any means. I love you, Zach. Next year it would open up $9 million on the cap with no penalties. As a business owner, I mean, that's something that you have to consider as having a replacement. It's, I hate to say it, but it's just the truth.
And again, if I wasn't an Eagles fan, I might be looking at this differently.
Sure.
But, I
hope Zach's here for the rest of his career, and I hope they do pay him. I think they can come to some sort of decision.
Yeah, I hope they can.
And I also hope it doesn't distract him through his play this year, but I have a feeling it might, especially reading what I'm reading and seeing what he's saying himself.
Yeah, I want it to work out. I think most everyone in the Eagles fandom wants it to work out too. But, again, I don't think it's going to have an effect, at least on game one. I don't think it's going to derail the season. I think Ertz is still going to come out, and he's going to give you everything he's got. Like, him and Wentz together are magic. They've shown that. So, I love the Eagles here.
You feel very happy, though, going into it.
No, but I think if they go out there and they blow Washington out,
you're going to feel a lot better. You're going to feel a lot better about that. Oh, yeah. When it makes you forget.
So, I'm betting the Eagles with a ton of confidence this week.
Love that pick.
I think,
D-Jack's back.
Yeah, and that's another
Last time against Washington, Deshaun Jackson went off. He's going to be able to have that chance again, and Philadelphia is going to open up the field. He's going to open up the field. Our running game is going to be able to take full advantage of that. Miles Sanders is going to run all over the Washington football team.
You saw what Wentz can do when he's got a speedy receiver like Jackson that can open up the field. I mean, this offense.
Sky's the limit.
He's a difference maker. So I think Wentz is going to have a great game. They're going to win big.
Yeah.
So
having him back, D-Jack back, Reagor coming in, even though he's going to be out for a little bit, but we're looking forward to seeing that speed. It's going to be very interesting, and I love the pick as well. Philadelphia all the way. Go Birds!
Do it.
All right, and that's it, guys. That's all we have for Wager Smart, and that's all we have for our episode this week. Tune in next week and see how wrong John was and how right I was, and we'll go from there. Hope to see you soon. Take it easy. Delco does it.